3, 2, 1. Starting transmission.
Still ringing? Communications. Let's see if that helps. Ring.
Hey, it's done.
Well, that's definitely a little different. You can actually see my office behind me now. That's a little crazy. You can actually see the pile of boxes. That's awesome.
So many.
That's hilarious.
Just ignore the mess behind me.
I was gonna say the same thing. Don't mind the fact that my couch is covered in old comforters and shit. Like, I haven't had anybody over in forever, so that couch never gets used.
And the recliner's just covered in clothes that, aren't dirty, but aren't clean.
They're Schrodinger's clothing. As long as you don't observe them, they're neither dirty nor clean.
Well, as long as you don't observe anything, it's neither dirty nor clean. You could easily wear it again, but you're far too lazy to put it back. So it goes to the chair.
I'm just trying something. Oh, that's not completely freaky at all. You're on the main screen. I can see every pore.
You can see that my face is composed mostly of acne scars.
That was mostly a joke about the 4K, but sure. Am I coming through okay? They were complaining yesterday that I'm hard to hear right now.
No, you're fine here.
Okay. I'm trying to find a good position for the mic without it being, like, in front of a screen. You know, because screen, huge screen.
Triple screen.
Oh my god. I truly feel like I have the command center now.
Do you even do enough to require so many screens?
Sure, there's anime on that screen. Chat is on that screen. Anything I need to be working on right now is right in front of me. I can actually do picture-in-picture with this too, which is really cool. I can actually put a fourth one, like, off in a corner if I need something else running.
Nice.
I thought about hooking my security camera feeds into the corner just so I could see what's going on outside the house at any given moment. Don't think about that too hard. That was a joke. I live in rich white suburbia. There's nothing going on outside the house.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake.
Okay. What to talk about today? Oh, so many anime. Most of it I don't care about. So what the fuck was it? Didn't you finish watching something?
Oh, let me look at my list. Or the profiler thing and see what I've added. I looked at that earlier, and then I started playing Far Cry, and I forgot what I was doing. Okay, since we last talked, had I watched Cancol the last time we talked? I can't remember. I feel like I had.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Had I watched the Gundress, the one that was from the guy who did Ghost in the Shell?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I've watched since last we talked.
Look at you watching all them animes.
Well, you know what they say, between work is the only solace from the madness.
You also watched the Ghost in the Shell movie.
Oh God, why'd you make me remember that? That movie is so bad. It is literally a fucking train wreck. Oh my God. You saw me. You could see me like scream typing at you how fucking dumb it is.
I was getting a play-by-play while you were watching it.
Oh my God. The setting looks right, the characters look right, but nobody acts the way they're supposed to act. Like, nobody acts like the character they're portraying. It's just like, it's like an alternate universe where everybody's fucking RoboCop. Or more appropriately, it's like if you had RoboCop, but then you overlaid the Ghost in the Shell universe on top of it.
Trying to scroll back up to where you were talking about it.
Oh God.
You had quite a lot to say.
It is really bad. Like, I'm glad I rented it because I really wanted to see it. But it is terrible. I mean, it is not a good movie. It's not even like it's a bad movie. It's just not a good movie. Like, it's how I imagine people who know nothing about, like, comic books would write a movie. Like, there's, like, this whole premise of, like, she's a weapon. She's a machine built to be a weapon, blah, blah, blah. She's not human. It's like, wait, what? No, Motoko Kusanagi was always a human. Like, she's the first full-body cyborg. Or one of the first, technically. If you haven't watched, was it Pandora and the Crimson Shell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, your head will hurt. So, Shiro Masamune, wrote what is apparently a prequel to the whole Ghost in the Shell universe. You saw me talking about it. I actually talked about it earlier in the summer. Pandora and the Crimson Shell, which is about the actual first full-body cyborg in that universe. And she's in love with a cat maid. Because, fuck it. Why not?
Why not?
Cat maids are cool.
Yes, they are.
A robot cat maid. Or more appropriately, an android cat maid. But yes, Ghost in the Shell live action is bad. It in so many different ways. Like, they rewrite the entire story. She's not Motoko Kusanagi, she's Mirakilian.
But hang on, you're breaking up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think you've settled?
I have settled?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if the Mirakilian thing was their way of trying to justify the whole getting a white girl to play the Japanese badass.
That was probably their justification.
Because, spoilers, her original name when she was a Japanese teenager was the correct character name. It's like, what? Like, that's your explanation?
So, all around terror bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, they combined the puppeteer and I can't think of the main bad guy from Individual 11. And I was just like, when they started explaining that, I'm like, are you kidding me? They're combining those storylines together? Like, they're two completely different concepts. Like, what the fuck? I think this whole thing about how they explained Bato getting his eyes by him being hurt in the line of duty while they're attacking it, like they're raiding a nightclub, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude, Bato had the eyes before he joined Section 9. He got him while he was a ranger with the Japanese Special Forces. What is this? And not Togasa. Oh, I can't think of it. The vice commander is a drunk. Not only is he a drunk, he's a drunk black guy. So I was just like, what the hell? Why is he a drunk black guy?
Oh boy. There we go. So I'll probably just skip watching it then.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. Ishikawa, that's what I was trying to think of. Ishikawa, who's the vice commander, freaking, like, is a drunk black guy. Like, it's not that he's a black guy, it's just like, they made it a black guy and then made him a drunk. It's like he's always drunk through the entire movie.
It
like,
very much, from the beginning, looked like this movie was just stacking the deck against itself with the choices it made.
And I was really confused by the guy. They got like a legitimate old badass Japanese actor to play Chibaru Maki, and he just speaks in Japanese the entire movie, which is totally fine. Like, I don't have an issue with that. But I don't understand it because nobody else speaks any Japanese at all, period. The rest of the movie is done entirely in English, except for Aramaki, who speaks nothing but Japanese.
It's a weird choice.
Yeah, no, I think it's because the guy doesn't actually speak English, which is totally fine. Like, no complaints. But like, it would have been way more interesting to have it be. I thought it would be really interesting. Like, there's a point where she goes into his office, and it's just the two of them talking. It would have been really cool to have them both speaking Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Like her speaking to him on his level, kind of thing. Because there's this whole thing of like, he speaks only Japanese and everybody understands him perfectly fine, but everything they answer is in English. And he understands them perfectly fine. Which, I mean, should be an issue. I mean, it's the future cyborg brains, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I just remember thinking, like, this is a really weird concept to have the chief speak nothing but Japanese and have everybody else understand him and he understand them, but everybody else speaks perfect English. No accents, no. And the guy that played Togasa is Japanese, but he speaks English. Like, he looks like a late 30s Japanese, like, private eye. He speaks perfect English. So I'm just like, what was that about? There's a really weird scene in the club where they handcuff Kusanagi to a stripper pole and start tasering her, demanding she give them information. She starts kind of like, that was probably yelling at you about like how I didn't like the characterization, because I was like, this is not how this would go. Like, she would not sit there and be tasered for 20 minutes. Obata was getting a drink at the bar. We just had a really weird vibe. Like, they didn't have the Tachikomas or any of their ilk either. Like, they didn't even exist. There's, at the very end, they face off against the spider tank from like the second episode of Standalone Complex, and that was just weird. Like, they had that scene from Standalone Complex where she jumps on top and almost rips her arms out trying to pull the brain case lid off of the head of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were so many scenes that they just kind of like, they're like, this was a really iconic scene in this series, so we'll just transplant it in somewhere. Like, she does the deep dive off the building where she cloaks halfway down, and they had the fight with the trash men in the middle of the fountain or whatever. Like, like in the movie, like, there's all this, like, it's like in Hong Kong, and there's all this like signage, beautiful signage, and the guy's wearing like a really bright like red shirt that draws it to you. And like this movie, it's real beige. There's not a lot of color. And they like completely lost the whole trash man thing is about people having their memories overwritten to the point where they like can't tell reality from fantasy. And in that case, they just had the guy like freak out and hang himself. And it was like, what the? Yeah, no, seriously, when the guy realizes that like everything he thinks is real is fantasy, he just hangs himself. Like, they've got him in these like these torsion control gauntlet things. Like, he's got a thing around his neck, a thing around each of his limbs that keep him from like lashing out. He like just jumps in the air and then like goes into like a kneeling position and lets like the collar hang him. I was like, because in the movie and in the manga, the scene with the trash man is him being really confused and them trying to help him understand the fact that the memories he thinks he has are not real.
Yeah.
Just the confusion of like he was doing something that he thought was right, but it was all like a virus planted in his mind. Somebody planted false memories. They were just all over the place. But yeah, it's not a good movie. I would suggest anyone who's if you know nothing about the franchise, you're probably fine to watch it and you won't be like as upset as I was. Like I'm one of the hardcore fans who's read all the manga and watched all the movies and watched all the OVAs and the TV show and like just live and die inside that world. And so I was upset because I was like, this is not what I was hoping it would be. Like I never expected it to be a good movie, but I just didn't think it was going to be that.
I didn't expect it to be a good movie at all from the start, but
yeah, I thought, well, maybe it'll be an okay, adaptation of the majority of the first manga. Instead, it was like we made RoboCop and then we transplanted all the characters in the setting on top of it.
It sounds a little like somebody Ghost. Somebody wrote a script that was sort of sci-fi, and then somebody went, "Hey, what if we slap Ghost of the Shell on this? It's Ghost."
Meow.
What if we just slap some Ghost in the Shell stuff in that shell?
Into the shell, yeah, over the top of it.
On top of it, and that way people will go watch it because it has the name. And then we'll make all these other decisions that will get us in the news. The people will go watch it. And then a lot of people won't go watch it. I think, didn't enough people watch it? Eventually?
Yeah, I don't think it failed.
Because I know it picked up in, like, other markets better.
Let's see.
I wonder if you took out all the Ghost in the Shell stuff. What you would have been left with might have been decent, but it doesn't sound like it would have been at all.
No, I don't think it was.
So, shitty movie pulled from a great franchise and then continued to make a shitty movie.
If you took the facade of like the characters and the setting off, it's basically a really shitty remake of RoboCop.
Yeah, which we already had a remake of that.
Yeah, like she's made by like an evil corporation run by a corrupt president. Like it's very very RoboCop.
So, going off of Ghost in the Shell, what was the more the least shitty of what you watched? Besides that,
sadly, I think that was Girls versus Butlers.
Oh no! Ladies versus Butlers. I watched one episode of that.
That show is like bad, but bad like in a good way. Like I enjoyed that show for what it was, which was obvious fan service, like in the worst way.
Well, considering you can see nipple through their outfits with areola.
Oh yeah. The blonde, when she just forgets her broad, like you can literally see the outline. It's like, damn, those are some big. Anyway.
Well, big boobs don't tend to have tiny nipples.
Teeny tiny nipples.
That would look weird.
It does look weird. So what I watched in order from last to first was something Gundress, which was like a weird sci-fi, just Gundress, like a weird sci-fi kind of like special operations force fighting really weird, corrupt, corporation, mega corporation. The one main girl is like, former terrorist turned like anti-terror force soldier. Kind of like a plea deal type deal where she's like, you can either join us or die, and so she started working with the government. Submarine 707R, which I'd never heard of, which is basically about a really funny little like literally is the story of a heroic Japanese submarine captain and his ultimate submarine, the 707R, the newest, fastest, meanest submarine in the Japanese Naval Self-Defense Force fleet. And he goes and fights like this weird, like, pseudo nation state that is not any nation state that exists. Like, it's a nation state under the ice caps in Antarctica. Like, they live in domes in Antarctica, and like they're planning like the domination of the world only so that they can live in peace in Antarctica. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna bother you in Antarctica. Like, we have a couple research stations, and that's pretty much it, because it's fucking cold there all the time. I watched the Heaven's Lost Property movie. That was interesting. It's a recap of like the first 2 seasons, and then like the last half hour, 45 minutes is like epilogue material. Take that, cat. Aha.
Sorry. I don't know why he does this every night, but Ghost seems to forget every day that right after he gets dinner, he gets locked in the bedroom.
Oh, so Sassy can eat.
So Sassy can eat, and then Sassy can have some peace for the rest of the night. And, you know, move around without having to worry about getting in the way of the 2 brats.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom can just leave the back door open for her so she can go in and out as she pleases.
Mm-hmm. But Sassy's got enough sense to, like, come back kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, she's a formerly feral cat. Which is why we let her go out. These two have, never been outside. Except for that trip from the apartment they were born in to here.
Mm.
And there are so many strays in the area that I'm probably not going to ever let them outside.
Yeah, it's probably wise.
And if I do, it'll probably be with a harness.
For good reason.
So I watched Flip Flappers.
I had heard about that, but thoughts? Feelings?
It has its charms, but it fails at what it tried to do. I don't have language right now, apparently. It starts you off as sort of a vaguely cliche, slightly surrealist. Did your headphones just die?
No, I just realized they were turned way down. I was like, that's really weird. You're usually way louder, man. I'm like,
how's that?
You're good.
Magical Girl Show.
Yeah.
You know, in the way that studious student meets random happy chick and woo, Magical Girl Show. And it becomes more about world domination and, you know, past scientific experiments and alternate realities and crap like that.
So it just kind of goes off the rails somewhere in the middle?
It's working up to it there. I'm not saying it didn't do it bad, I just saying it didn't do it well either. Like, it's not a terrible show, but it's not also all that great either. It's kind of meh.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of meh.
And then it hits the skeeve meter a little bit.
Skeeve meter is good.
A little too detailed in certain places.
Yeah. That was my thought about the gratuitous bath scene at the first episode of Ladies vs. Butlers. It's like, I did not need to see that many, like, middle school girls butt fuck naked.
Yeah.
Like, showering and cleaning each other. Like, they didn't do it, like, a weirdly sexual way, which made me really happy, because I was like, they started showing all the characters naked, like, in the bathhouse or whatever. I'm going, like, this... Because like, my thought process was, like, there's a lot of, like, middle school kids. Like, it's mainly aimed at, like, the high schoolers, which is already kind of weird, but, like, there's, like, a whole, like, a group of 3 or 4 girls that are, like, in middle school. Like, they're 8th graders. And they were all naked. And I'm like, oh, this is getting squeaky fast. Like, I'm not real comfortable with this. 'Cause, like, they're not coy with the whole, like, them fondling each other in the bath. Like, there's some hanky panky going on. It's mostly between the high school girls, but there's a couple times that they look like they were gonna maneuver towards involving the younger girls. And I'm like, that's just weird. Please don't go there. And thankfully, they never did.
Woo! Never did.
Kind of like the.
Kind of like what?
I'll say it's kind of like the card character Sakura, like all the different forms of love. There's the one where like the 35-year-old teacher is in love with the 10-year-old girl. Like you just gotta wait for her to grow up. And I'm like, that doesn't make it any less weird. And they're like, well, that's what happened with Sakura's mother and father. I'm like, no. He was 22 and she was 18.
Yeah.
That's still weird, but that's not as weird. Like, this is like a guy in his 30s going, hey, that 10-year-old girl's good looking. I think I'll wait for her to grow up and then I'll marry her. What?
Ugh.
It's like the one, it was like of all the different like relationships they portrayed, that was the one I went like, that's not acceptable. Please don't speak of it again.
I think if you want to show someone like a slightly off anime, like sort of weird before going deeply into weird, Flip Flappers is pretty safe, so you could go for that.
I watched I watched an episode of Rio Rainbow Gate tonight. Like, it's actually on that monitor right now, like 10 minutes into the second episode. Now that's a weird anime. Very clearly was written just to be pervy. Like, they get the busty, card or blackjack dealer girl to like dress up in all kinds of outfits. Like, she's in a maid outfit, she's in a bridal dress. They just had her in a showgirl outfit. Something about the owner wanting her to get lots of experience. I'm like, yes, experience, quote unquote.
Ugh.
I still love that Ladies vs. Butlers gave Ekin a run for its money on big bouncy tits all over the place. And like random sexually charged like activities that are not actually sexual. Like, we're gonna ride a giant banana down a water slide full of liquid chocolate.
Because that's what people do.
Just remember, kids, bite hard. You don't want to lose your grip on the banana.
Ow.
Indeed. Other than that, I've been playing Far Cry 4 because one of my friends talked me into buying it last weekend. And it's weird because I actually really identify with the bad guy. Like, I think the people running the resistance are assholes, and like, I actually side with the asshole dictator, who, other than being a complete psychotic monster, is actually kind of a half decent dude.
Okay, if you remember the psychotic, if you forget that part, everything's fine.
Yeah, like, if you're not his enemy, he's not a bad dude to be around, but if you're his enemy, basically prepare to be tortured horribly. Like when he picks you up at the border, like you think you're going to be tortured, he sits you down, he's like, have some crab ragoon. What? Okay. And then like the rebels attack, he's like, I'll be back in 10 minutes, don't go anywhere. Like, not threatening, just like, don't go anywhere. And like, when he comes back, he's like, what'd you think of the crab ragoon? And you can answer yes or no. And he's like, you answer no, he's like, I knew it. That's what I get for kidnapping a celebrity chef. Never doing that again. Like, obvious monster, but like, during the game, like, you're doing all this like shit to try to overthrow him. And he's like, at no point is he ever mad at you. He like calls you on the phone or whatever. And he's like, hey, how's it going, AJ? Having fun out there? Killing a lot of people? Good for you, kiddo. You keep it up. Like, well, shit. I don't really want to overthrow this guy.
Yeah,
Last game,
I've watched a couple of playthroughs of that, and neither of the two resistance people are in any way endearing.
yeah, they're just kind of assholes.
Yeah.
I've been playing co-op with another guy, and we were talking about how, like, if you're given the option to side with Min and bad guy, like we actually would take it because he's actually like the least evil of all three, because at least he's like, when he's in power, the country's stable.
Yeah.
It's a dictatorship, but like it's stable.
Lesser evil and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably more evil, but in a beneficial way.
Yeah, he's lawful evil.
Yeah. You suddenly sound like a robot.
I do? Oh no. I am a robot. Please insert anime.
Suddenly just getting a weird amount of distortion from your side.
I don't know why.
Hang on, let me just call you back.
Okay.
Transmission interrupted. Reconnecting transmission.
Alright. That fixed it. It's the bad connection.
Yeah?
I don't know what's
Nope.
causing it. We got Yeti picked as the thing. Do you want me to try to like plug and unplug my microphone maybe? I don't know.
You sound
too
alright
simple.
now, but there's like background distortion.
That took care of it? Ah, it's my fan. I don't know why it's suddenly picking it up, but
Yeah.
okay.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't normally hear it like that.
Solve that problem.
Oh well.
I can turn it off for a little while. Don't kill me. I did finish Kill Me Baby, which I thought was okay. Not great, but okay. Yeah. I mean, nothing to like write home about, but it wasn't a bad show. It just
It was
was
alright.
a slice of life. Kind of funny. A little silly.
I mean, slice of life with
Yes.
a ninja and an assassin,
Everybody's
and
super deformed.
everybody's
quote,
tiny.
unquote.
What's going on in the news? Other than Game of Thrones stuff.
Things. Something going on with Game of Thrones?
Well, the episodes are happening right now, and HBO got hacked again, so there's leaked episodes out as well. Also, there's going to be a Roseanne reboot?
Wow. I don't really know what to do with that, but okay.
And my phone went off.
Oh boy.
Who would want to buy? Oh. Is it really that temperature outside? Oh no, it's a good thing because that's pretty cool. Because we've been in the triple digits lately. So it's only 81 outside right now. That's pretty nice. Should you really call this a reboot when it's really more of a continuation?
Mm-hmm. I don't really know if Roseanne needs a continuation at this point, but I won't.
I don't think it does, but I guess that's something that enough people wanted to make.
Yeah. I mean, look at it, like, it's been a long enough time that I don't know if it has any cultural meaning anymore. Like, maybe to older people, but like, there's literally an entire generation that's never even seen it.
I mean, it worked a couple seasons for Fuller House until it was canceled, but
they tried. It just, I don't think sitcoms really have the staying power they used to. People just aren't into it anymore. You must be dead honest, most of us really aren't even into TV anymore.
You gotta figure out how to make your media different.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Digimon stage play?
Wow.
It's totally just people using giant puppets.
Well, that's a thing. It's actually
It's
video.
a trailer, sneak peek sort of thing.
Oh my god. They're just big puppets. I don't understand the okay, whatever. The whole idea of like Destined as like high school kids is kind of hilarious to me.
How was it hilarious?
I don't know. I just like so I remember as a kid watching the show when they were like 12-year-olds or whatever. The idea of them as a bunch of high school kids is just kind of funny.
I guess there isn't just all that much to talk about.
I'm looking at man, but I don't.
What?
I'm looking at A&M, but there's not really much that I have anything to say about. Also, guy in a monkey suit in that trailer, I was like, okay then.
Something called Napping Princess is being dubbed.
I had heard about that. Well, Cinnamon Crystal third season is going to get dubbed this Christmas. That's interesting. Not really much going on, and I have nothing that I think to talk about. But well, that was an interesting trailer, to say the least. There's not really much going on. I don't know.
Say we could talk over this list of best and worst anime comedies, but I'm not sure I've seen them all.
We can take a look at it if you want. Let's take a look. That's fine. Okay. So what their writers think are the best and worst anime comedies? They seem to say. I'm gonna sit up on that. Telling my back is just like no.
And now I can't see you. No,
I'm sorry.
not because of where you're sitting, your image froze. There you are. Okay.
Okay. So Theron thinks best comedy is a tie between Monthly Girls, Nosy Cocoon, and XL Saga. XL Saga is getting kind of old. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not that it loses its ability to be funny, but there's a whole like generation of anime fans that don't even know what the hell it is.
I don't know if I would put XL Saga on a best list. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
I mean, definitely Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, because we nearly left ourselves to death sometimes.
Oh god, it's so funny. You thought Green was bad.
I don't.
Green is a weird show, and I don't disagree. Considering it was based off of porno, I think.
Well, alright then.
Yeah, I have Green. It's here somewhere.
I don't doubt that.
It's not good. It's pretty mediocre, not bad.
And then he was dead.
I'm dead, yes. Amagi Brilliant Park, James Beckett. Yeah, I would agree. Amagi Brilliant Park is a great show. I was really impressed with it. there's a lot of feeling of the guy basically being good at everything but being lazy and kind of narcissistic, and the girl kind of dragging him out of his shell about it. I mean, the idea of building up a falling down amusement park is kind of a fun idea. Morishimoto Moro-chan. I liked Amuro-chan.
I liked that too.
I can see why some people find her completely repulsive because she's kind of a shit. But that's part of the joke, like that she's a spoiled, rich little nouveau princess.
She's supposed to be a shithead. She is a shithead.
That's the whole idea. Like the thing that they don't feed you in the anime that they do feed you in the manga is that they're from a wealthy family. When I say wealthy, I mean like the Vanderbilts and the Johnson family. Like him complaining about money is really inconsequential because all he would have to do, or brother would have to, I should say, is call their parents and his bank account would be filled to the brim with money. He's trying to teach her responsibility, and she's like, no, I want cola and potato chips. You will give me the potato chips. I demand it. He's like, no, I've had it now. No, I demand potato chips. It's about her, like, growing up and, like, learning how to, like, interact with people without being a complete little shit about it. There's definitely some stuff about her, like, learning the value of her brother's companionship, I guess, for lack of a better word, like being around her brother and wanting to be around her brother. They have a whole episode where they're going to split off and they find that they mutually enjoy each other's company. And so they, maybe change their behavior a little bit and they both go home happy. All right, and then Paul Jensen, Cromartie High School. I didn't like Cromartie High School.
Because I didn't like it either.
I thought it was really dumb. Like, I didn't get into it. My friends swore up and down, it's the greatest show ever. I'm like,
it's so zany and random.
Yeah. And he thought the comic artist and his assistants was bad. I've never seen it. I've got nothing to say.
It's on my to-watch list, but yeah.
The next guy thought Nichijou was good. I'm told it's good. I've never seen it, but from what I've heard and seen clips of it, it looks like it's crazy.
Excellent.
I'm still shocked they didn't dub it, but that's okay. He thought Orimo was bad. Oh, that's the one about the guy that's in love with his sister, isn't it?
No. Is it?
Yeah, it's the one. Wasn't the English title something like "My sister can't possibly be this cute"?
Yep. First season of that show is alright. I enjoyed it well enough, and then it got worse and worse and worse. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just skip it.
Gintama, best comedy. I've heard people speak positively of Gintama.
Yep.
Oh boy.
My husband just caught a very interesting Pokemon.
Oh yeah?
Moltres.
Wow. Yeah, good for him.
It makes me wonder if game is that boring.
He's playing Pokemon Go or whatever.
I mean, it's on a college campus, so there's lots of Pokestops and gyms. So it's a great thing to do in downtime. But usually play it if I'm bored. I play it a lot. Anyway, Gintama. I have not seen.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've heard it's supposed to be like.
I know there's
amazing.
a live action version coming out.
Lord.
Nor have I ever heard of Bo.
Bobo. Very weird, very strange. No hairs of death. That's all I have to say. Oh God, Rebecca Silverman, Daily Lives of High School Boys. That's some weird shit. I've never seen it, but the scene that she's got pictured, I've heard about, where they're trying on the guy's sister's bra, and she like walks in, and she's just like, "What the fuck? Like, it's not what you think it is, man." And she thought Bludgeoning Angel Doroko-chan is bad. Doroko-chan is just weird that it's really, really gory for no particular reason. Like, she takes the guy's head off, and like the bottom half is there and the top half is gone. It's just like a fountain of blood. And they've got like the whole, like his brains and insides all drawn out. It's like, oh God.
Never seen it, so.
And Lauren Roth thinks Polar Bear's Cafe is good.
Polar Bear's Cafe is the most adorable slice of life anime I have ever seen.
Okay, then. And she thinks Nabunga the Fool is bad. I don't know. I've never seen it. It's like nothing.
Nabunga the Fool.
Oh God, 6 animes to remake like it's 1999. Oh my God, this is a good one for us to talk about. These are all animes from like the late 90s that people think should be remade. I'll send it to you.
Okay, so Crest of the Stars.
Crest of the Stars is boring as hell, so yeah, they should go ahead and remake it, because it's fucking, it's like politics in space.
Well, if they remake it, isn't it still just going to be politics in space?
Yeah, but it might end up more like, I don't know, what is it, like Babylon 5 or whatever?
Well, I don't know. Maybe with a more modern reimagining of it, it'll be less boring politics in space.
Mm-hmm. Pet Shop of Horrors, I've never seen it, so I got nothing to say, but I imagine it needs to be remade.
I don't think I've ever seen it either. I have no idea.
Starship Girl Yamato Yoko. Apparently the TV show never made it over here. But the OVAs did.
No idea then. I mean,
Correct.
the little image looks cute enough.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Corrector Yui, Magical Girl meets technology.
Corrector, it wasn't half bad. It wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. And then Better Man? I've never heard of Better Man.
All I know is that her hair looks weird.
Yeah, that's some multicolored shit right there, I tell you what.
I don't know the next one either.
Oh god, Infinite Revis. That needs to go die in a fucking car fire.
Yeah, that probably shouldn't be remade then.
Oh, it literally, what they read in the first sentence is the truth. It's Lord of the Flies in space. Or if it took like Lord of the Flies and mixed it with like, Animal Farm.
But it's not good at it, or do you just not care for such things?
Well, we all know teenagers are assholes. Now imagine a bunch of teenagers with unlimited power and weaponry.
Done properly, that could be interesting, but I've never seen this, so.
Yeah, it's pretty much a whine fest about, the people who are in power basically treat the people beneath them like crap until the supplies run out, then they start whining. Because they overuse their resources, and then they're like floating in space with no way of getting home. They're like out of, food and water, and they're like, what do we do now? I don't know. You tell me.
Did you think of off the top of your head some things you'd like to see remade?
That's a good question. I'm going to open the window. It's freaking getting hot in here. Holy moly. I don't know. I mean, I kind of take things as like time capsules for when they were made. Like, some things could definitely benefit from. Yeah, there's definitely older things that could benefit from a remake in the sense of the quality animation you can improve.
Yeah.
But nothing that like screams to the front of my head like that needs a remake. Let me pull open the profiler and look at my list. Let's see what I've got. I mean, they're making more Cardcaptor Sakura, but that's not so much a remake as it is just a continuing the story. Chobits definitely doesn't need a remake. Chobits is really a product of its time. Like, I can't imagine a show like that anymore. But like when it came out, it seemed logical. Sorry to the ease, and I'm like looking at the stuff like, yeah, it's all good. Is there something that comes to mind for you that needs a remake?
I'm looking at the list to see if anything jumps out.
I'd like to see some more Golden Boy. I really enjoyed that. Once again, that was like, it's a product of its time.
Well, Netflix is updating Saint Seiya.
Wow.
So that's a bit of an oldie. How much Macross stuff is there?
A lot, but I don't know. I mean, I guess they could remake Macross.
Like maybe some of the older
I don't
bits of it.
I mean, maybe the original Gundam could use a redo. It's just so old at this point. Or the way to end, and I haven't seen anything. I'm like, that needs a redo. I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of the stuff is good the way it is. At Labor, Pride Candidate, Tom Poco, already remade Sailor Moon, Hanma. No, maybe Utena? Utena might be interesting as a remake.
Especially considering what they could probably get away with nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the spiritual successor, oh Lord. You know the one I'm talking about, Bare Lesbians.
Oh, I never remember the name of that show.
It's like Kumarashi something.
Bare Lesbians. Cow. Well, no, yeah, Utena would be nice. Especially if we got, like, just a comprehensive, even just one season series out of it. Because a lot of people I know have never actually seen the show. They only know the movie. You know, the one where she turns into a car.
Yep. My girlfriend's a bitching Camaro. Kuma Arashi, yeah, that's right. I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like everything I own that I've watched has, is perfect from the time it's from, so there's not really any reason to remake it. Yeah, I don't really. There's nothing in my collection that I'm thinking it has to have remakes. I mean, they've definitely remade some stuff and are going to remake some stuff, but like when they were talking about remaking Eureka 7, I was like, I don't even know if that needs a remake, but okay.
You're gonna remake Eureka 7? Oh wait, no, we talked about this already, yeah.
It's going to be a series of 3 films instead of a remake. Well, I mean, the remake is a series of 3 films.
Not so much a remake, but I'd like to see more Cutie Honey stuff. There's a lot of different versions of it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cutie Honey's in like a weird spot, like where it's known, but it's not. Just doesn't get the traction it needs to get to really take off in this country.
It's probably some of those very, very, very old magical girl shows you can probably pull from and bring back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they gonna do something with Pat Labor?
Live action movie, if I remember correctly. I think the filming's done. I don't know if it's out yet.
Wanna call it there?
I think that's wise. I'm out of things to talk about.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. Stay safe and farewell, my fellow internet beings.
Well, good night, Cupcake.
Good night, Kiki.
Transmission terminated.